Hello everyone, thank you for joining me again on Underneath Her Skin. I am so happy to have you here. And if you're new, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. For those who are returning, thank you for joining me again. Today, it's a little bit emotional because I will be starting my first video of a series that I'll be doing about coping with loss and dealing with grief. And today I will be sharing with you my miscarriage story. Stay tuned. Please note that this can really be triggering for some. It can, evoke some emotion that you have gone through if you have experienced any miscarriages or loss within your life. So my husband and I have been married for almost 9 years, and we do have two beautiful daughters. We have a 5-year-old and a 4-year-old. And prior to having a miscarriage, I honestly didn't think much about it. I didn't even expect that it would happen. And that became as a shock when I realized that I was pregnant for the third time in 2018 and experienced what I experienced. So basically, my husband and I, we were in the process of purchasing our first home. And, anybody that purchased a home know that that process is very stressful. So we found out that we were expecting. And at that time, my daughters were maybe 2 and 1 or 3 and 2. I don't really remember right now. But at that time, we had to pack up our stuff from our apartment where we were living to move to our house. And on the day, I took a pregnancy test days before my expected period, maybe 5 or 6, the earliest, when I started feeling some signs or symptoms. And when I took the test, it became positive. So we were excited because we always wanted to have our children back to back so that we do not, so we can raise them in, close age and everything like that. So what happened, the actual day that I'm supposed to have my period, I didn't see a period during the day. And so at night, so I thought, everything was okay. I wasn't feeling any form of pain or cramping or anything like that. But for some reason at about midnight, I remember, or a little like maybe 12:05, I got up and I just felt the need to go urinate. So when I got up, I went to the bathroom, and that's when I realized that there was blood. So I went ahead and I put on a pad and everything like that, and I went back to bed. I didn't tell my husband or anything like that. He was still asleep. So the morning, I mentioned to him that I saw blood last night, and what I did was basically watched it. So that day I bled, but it wasn't like heavy blood, right? So I called my doctor. I called, and my doctor basically had moved. So I just basically went to the nearest emergency room. When I got to the emergency room, they were able to see a sac. But what they did is after they gathered my information, they took a pregnancy test just to confirm it. It was confirmed by the blood. And then the lady had me sit in the examining room to do a cervical exam. So there was a doctor there, and then she was looking around, and the guest was kind of concerned. So then she called in another doctor. And when she called in another doctor, the doctor came, and they both were looking. I had a vaginal exam where they put the thing in you to check and see. And what happened basically is that she said to me that we can definitely see that you're pregnant, but we cannot see, we see a yolk sac, but we don't see an embryo. We don't see a baby there. We don't see anything. And I said to her, could it be that I'm just really early? Or, you know, is that maybe why? So she said, that can possibly be why, but I want you to come back in about 2 days to see if your HCG levels are increasing. So I went back for the follow-up. And when I went back, I literally, I didn't have to do another exam or anything. I just sat there and waited until they were ready to see me. And one of the nurses that was there basically said, your HCG levels increased. So this HCG level is basically the level that tells you, that's the first thing that your body gives off when you're expecting. So if you're taking a home pregnancy test, you would need HCG levels to determine pregnancy, and that the more it increases, the more vital the pregnancy is, and that continues to go on throughout pregnancy. That's what kind of, you know, helps you to keep track. So she said that it did increase, and I was very excited to hear that, because at this point I was literally clinging on to the least of hope that they can give to me, because I'm so nervous even saying this. It's just knowing that even though it was in the early phase of life, this was a part, this embryo or this baby is a part of me, you know. So I really just hope for the best. And she said to me that the HCG levels did increase, but I want you to come back. And so I said, okay, no problem. She wanted me to come back to be sure. So I said, okay, fine. At this point, I wasn't bleeding a lot. I was just like spotting. So I was just really hoping and praying that this goes away and that the baby would begin to grow, and there would be no complications. So I remember I went back to work, and when I went to work, this was a few days after I went to work, and I just felt like a gush. I just felt like a gush, and when I went to the bathroom, I realized I was bleeding a lot. So I basically told one of my supervisors or someone at school that I think I'm having a miscarriage and I need to go. I didn't even wait for them to say yay or nay or what. I just packed my stuff and I left school. I drove home and I went straight to the hospital. When I got to the hospital, I was told that I am, in fact, miscarrying, and my heart dropped. It was one of the hardest things I've had to deal with, and I can't tell you the emotions that came with that. You know, it's very miserable. Doing a video like this is never easy, and it's pretty emotional. So it's not going to be easy for me to do it, but I'm going to try my best to push through, because I believe that healing comes through talking about and sharing about our experiences, even the deepest ones that we try to hide sometimes. And the purpose behind Underneath Her Skin is to unveil that, to unveil the things that we go through in silence. So please continue on this journey with me to unveil some of my challenges that I've gone through, where many of you guys have no idea that I've experienced. But I do want to continue to walk in healing, and I also hope that these videos are touching, and that you, whoever may be experiencing challenges in these areas, can also be healed where it can definitely help in the process of healing for you and your family as well.